This is Family Tree. Welcome to Movement Decoded. Going to be getting through our movement research today. 3 concepts, infinite possibilities. And what we're going to work on today, stemming off from the last session, are Cossacks and some new variations from there. So again, it can serve as a little bit of the warm-up, especially through the variations. Feel free to add in the other little techniques and variations as well with this. So we're not going to mince it, we're going to get straight into it. The first detail that we can explore is our high and low Cossack, creating those circular motions, lifting up high through the hips, playing with the level of the hips, the personality of your anatomy showing up. And so the variation we're going to come into, something I like to call the butterfly switch. With one leg out straight, all we do is ease ourselves down towards the ground, create this Newton's cradle so the foot comes in, opens through this butterfly gesture, and then the opposite leg opens up, and we lift up into our Cossack. So we come down, switch, and back up. Down, switch, and up. You can really create, depending on the surface of the floor, this lovely kind of like sliding motion as well, pushing through the hands, switching across and coming up. Hands behind, slide through the hips, help through the reach of the arms, helping the body come up and come down. There's no sort of bonus points, I guess, for doing it without the hands. Feel free. If it creates a nice feeling of flow with the hands or without. Variation number 1. Number 2, we're going to add a front sweep or a back sweep. So with one leg out, either sweeping toe side or heel side. Hands can come down towards the ground. If I'm sweeping heel side, I'm just letting the weight of my body rotate around this way, and it doesn't have to be any certain degree of spin. It might just help create a little bit of sweep to come into our Cossack. Again, we can explore high and low in between. That sweep shows up as hands coming down, leaning into the weight, so the foot gets a bit lighter to come back up. We also have, depending on the momentum that your body's traveling in, we also have our toe side. So as the hands come down, we can reach in the direction we want to go, sweep, pause, and options. As I said with that sweep, in the research it's probably going to become a lot more apparent as to where the momentum of your body is kind of taking you. So if I come into this leg, maybe it's just dictating that realm into that sweep. So if I bring the butterfly in, which direction do you want to take it? Sometimes it can be quite spontaneous in terms of almost like the falling sensation and the momentum. It's going to take you to heel side or toe side. Or we can pause in that moment and decide whether we want to take a certain direction just to be creative. So that's the 2 variations that we can play with. Again, the anchor being our high and low. Sweeps playing with the plane of the hips, the movement of the heel and the legs. Butterfly switch, front spin, back spin. Element number 2 is going to be, I call these circular rocks. They're really easy, really gooey. It's just nice to open up into the hips and then develop this relationship with the floor as well. So what we're going to do is start in a squat position, bring our right hand down, and then let the weight transfer into the hand so that the knees can come down. We call this 4th position. So we bring the sole of the foot in towards the thigh, trailing leg, heel in towards the bum. From here already, it's kind of dictating the way the body wants to fall. So I bring the hand nice and close towards the thigh, We collapse down on our landing pads to the shoulder. Hand, forearm, shoulder. And we open up the arms above the head. As we come onto the other shoulder, the left arm wants to hug in towards the body. So then as I bring my nose towards my knee, I can push up off the forearm and off the hand, and we're on the other side. Just for movement's sake, technique, we'll stay in our fourth position. So left hand, forearm, shoulder, trace the arms up high, heavy along the floor. You don't need to carry weight in this motion. Let the floor do the work. Hugging the arm in of the supported shoulder to push off the forearm, off the hand, nose towards the knee. So these are our fetal rolls. Shout out to Vincent Viz, actually. Quite a few years ago, he uploaded a few tutorials and this is something that I learned from him as well. So I just pay homage to that, but it's a very ubiquitous movement form and technique, to be fair. So from this movement, we create our circular rocks as we push up. If I'm leading with the right knees down, I push off the right hand, and we can push ourselves like a domino effect up into a squat to keep the motion. Hands down, trace, push, down, trace, and up. So from different angle. Again, we can do it without the hands if you want to, just depending on letting your personality of your anatomy, your range show up. I do like to use the hands just because, why not? It just adds another support to moisturize through. And that's our circular rocks, a really lovely junction, and I use this a lot in my movement repertoire, and I like to have it as a bit of a glue in terms of piecing together different transitions and different levels. It's very much a staple piece for a lot of the floor work that we utilize. So the last concept, the third and final one we're going to work on is our lazy lizards. Call these lazy lizards, become very apparent because the floor does a lot of the work for us. If you're familiar with the lizard crawl itself, it can be quite demanding, quite taxing on the body. This one we can develop a certain strength that sneaks us into it. Let's do a warm-up for it first. The center point of this movement really is our tripod base in our lunge position, and the opposite hand to the front leg coming down towards the ground, meeting this tripod base, this sort of lizard lunge here. So I want to be quite comfortable here, even with this front foot extended. Just let yourself ping pong in between, because we want to be agile in this area. Good, then from here, we bring our hands into a diamond position, so the thumb and the pointer fingers connect, creating that diamond push-up. Just ease yourself down towards the ground. You can use the back knee as well, and you're just going to press down, see if you can listen to the floor, and then push back up. Ease down, listen to the floor, push back up. Do one more. Ease down, push back up. Nice. Let's come into the other side. Opposite hand to the front leg. Pinball in between. Rummage in. And then we'll create that diamond gesture here. It doesn't have to be so close to the foot. It doesn't have to be so far away. Kind of find that Goldilocks range there. That suits. That back knee can be down. Listening to the ground. The same side we're leaning. Same here. So we're looking towards that front foot. You can't even rest all the way down. It's nice. And then push back up. Push down, we'll do two more. Draw back up. We want to have a little bit of distance between the hand and the foot, make sure, so we can lean away. That's going to be really important for the next step. It's not so much having to muscle a press there. Use all the points of contact to the ground to help. The legs are really kind of helping you lower and lift back up as well. So for our lazy lizard, sometimes the funny bit can actually just reaching the foot, the tail of the lizard into the right place. So this will be our entry point. Oh, a beautiful junction. Nice. We already have our Cossack position here. From here, this is going to be that third point for that tripod. The straight leg is going to act as the front foot of the lizard that we've just been in, like so. So what's happening here is this lizard tail, compressed and coiled here, is tracing as far over, away from the straight leg. So it traces, traces, traces for the opposite hand to come near the foot. Oh, we're back here into this lizard territory. Lazy press down. We stay here and then slide the leg underneath. Even easier push back up. So what's happening here is the compressed tail of the lizard is reaching as far as it can. I'm just going to demonstrate a few now for you to just copycat, monkey see, monkey do, and see how it flows. Lie all the way down and thread through. Diamond push, thread through. I'll demonstrate a few different angles. Compressed tail, reaches, reaches, the opposite hand places down affirmatively. What can tend to happen with this sometimes, it's not wrong, it's actually a beautiful, happy accident that a lot of my students create as a result of this, is using this as the front leg. So sometimes people lift up and come straight into here, to then come down, but no, that's too easy. So make sure that this doesn't step all the way over into a lunge, but it becomes the tail. Reach and curl. Reach and curl. Tail round, curl, and then you can add some lovely juicy textures to the movement too. That's the third layer, our lazy lizards. So let's revisit those three. We have Cossacks, really beautiful junction. We have the two variations, butterfly sweep, front spin, back spin. Also we have circular rocks, 3 movements, infinite possibilities, sometimes they bottleneck. So we take our time, noticing where all the micro junctions can show up, like here. Our lizard, play with the whip of the tail as well. That lizard, it can trace along the floor. As we come down, it can circle up a bit higher. As we find the angle. Just a little bit of playtime there. So that's an example of culmination of where these 3 different movements can go. Really fun, that, really juicy. I like that one. Definitely going to draw that a bit more. Hopefully things were nice and clear there. If there's any questions pertaining to this video, leave a little comment for sure. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. It's calm. It's constructive feedback. Then leave a comment and say what you'd like to see, and I'll try my flipping best to deliver. Subscribe, that might help as well, and all everything there. Also, I'd just love to say a big shout out to this facility here. When I first moved to London a year and a half ago, this was the first studio that took me in when I was a little bit nervous, teaching yoga, teaching movement. And it's just a beautiful community centre, the ARC Centre here in Islington. And what it's passionate about is the food bank here. They have big food drives. They support the local community, support homeless people, support underprivileged people. And it's just a great space to be a part of. So I want to give shout out to this place. And if you want any more info on that, I'll leave it in, what's it called? The description. And I'll give a link to where you could donate if you'd like to. Even just a couple quid goes a very long way for a family. And if there's one thing that you want to offer, at least it could be a little help to those as well. So anyways, much love, family tree. Hope you enjoyed. Happy research. Gang, gang. Peace.